All right. I'm gonna start this pretty soon. I'm gonna start this pretty soon. Let me go ahead and get everything situated. Put everything out in front of me and see how it's gonna go. Welcome back to part two of the motivation speech, where I go and want to help those who want to be helped and answer any questions that wants to be answered. We're gonna get started here shortly. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit. See how it goes. All right. Let's give it a few more. Start this at about 9:51. I'll start it about 9:51. Got this playing. All right, this thing is showing my previous live. I want to show my current live. So right now, I want to share this. Thread, make it come back. All right. Just waiting on a few more people. Let's go ahead and post this. Excuse me, peeps. All right, let me go ahead and just refresh a little bit. All right, let me go ahead and search. Um, all right. How's it going? How's it going? Podcast is gonna start and pretty soon, about another 2 minutes or so. We're gonna start this podcast and get it started. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? So, what makes a person not motivated is someone who doesn't believe in themselves, someone who doesn't believe in their future. And I believe having that positive motivation believes in yourself, you know, and that has to start with goals. Write down your goals, write down each step that you want to take. And from each step, keep climbing. So, work until you no longer need to introduce yourself. And what I mean by that is you want to get to that boss level. You don't want to stay at the ground level no more. You want to get to the top. You want to make everything keep climbing. You don't want to introduce yourself every time you have to walk into an event or walk into a party and you're like, hey, my name is such and such. No, you want to walk in and be like, hey, that's such and such right there. You want to have those type of goals in life. Work is what will make you successful and allow you to help others. You got to put in that hard work. If you can't put in that hard work, I mean, hey, I mean, how you gonna ever be something in life if you don't want to put in that hard work, that grind? You know what I mean? You gotta work until you reach the success that you want to reach in life. Now, everybody has different levels, just like games. You start at the foundation, you start at that base level. Then you work your way up. You got that foundation. Okay, now you're on the first floor. That's your real challenge. You get to that first obstacle. You keep grinding. And then you'll find yourself on the second floor. Obstacles get a little bit tougher, right? Each time you're building yourself up, you're also building the walls. And those walls are the ones that blocks out all the negative people that wants to come into your life and control things, right? Then you get to the top, the roof. Once you get to that top, guess what? You're already there. You blocked out the haters. You got your momentum up. You got everything you need, right? Everything you need. Keep your eye on your goal and eliminate the activities that one keep you from it. Now, let's dive deep in it a little bit. People can keep you away from reaching your goals. You know why? Because they want to do like 5 seconds of fame for social media. They want to do things that are not going to make you a better person. If anything, in return, is going to make you a worse person. So keep yourself from people that's going to make you dig deeper into the ground. Who wants to get dug deeper into the ground? I mean, we're all going to be there 6 feet, and eventually throughout our lifetimes and stuff like that. But who wants to be there sooner than later for the wrong reasons? Or who wants to be held so far back that you can't even reach your goals anymore? And don't move you toward it. And what I mean by don't move you toward it is people who don't want to move you towards your goals, your ambitions. That's the type of people you want to stay away from. You want to stay around people who's bossing up. You want to stay around people who's positive. You want to stay around people who's going to build you up. You want to stay around people that are going to make ends meet. That's the type of people you want to be around. Because at the end of the day, you can do anything you want to do in life. And you got to keep telling yourself that day in and day out. Because nobody is going to work harder than you can work for yourself. And you can be anybody that you imagine to be as long as you put that fourth effort, that utmost effort in. You got to keep grinding. You got to know how to market yourself. Even if you're an introvert and you don't like talking like that, hey, the way the technology is these days, you don't even got to talk to nobody. As long as you got that proper branding, that proper marketing, you can go out there and get ads all over the place. You can go on Google. You can pay for some ads to be placed on a lot of sites. So your face is right there in front. There's a lot of different ways that you can market yourself without talking to people if you're a shy person. But also being a shy person is not going to make you get that far either, because the way business works, you got to learn how to talk to people too. Just be confident in yourself because no one can stop you. No one can distract you. No one can interrupt you except you. You are the only one who can stop yourself from becoming who you want to be in life. You, not your toxic friends, not your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You, only you. You can dive deep into yourself, learn everything that you might not learn before, and make it. Because once you find yourself, there's nothing stopping you. Nothing. Chase your dreams and never give up because eventually something has to give. And what I mean by that is no matter how hard things get, you can still find a way around it. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many obstacles that we can go through in life that we cannot overcome. Because if you look at it, a lot of these obstacles and challenges that happen in our lives, it's the same thing. It's just twisted. It's just in a different format. It's a different way of us reading it. But it's the same exact challenge we overcame before. So it's nothing new. As long as you can recognize it before you dive too deep into it, you can get around that obstacle. You can do it. Don't get discouraged when you suffer defeats. If anything, let those defeats make you stronger. Let those defeats make you get up and want to keep pushing. Make those defeats want you to go even harder than you did last time. Because you know why you got defeated last time? You didn't put your all, you didn't put your effort in. As much as you say you put your effort in, you ain't put your all into it. Because you always had that what if in the back of your head. Don't even think about the what if. Just do it. If you keep pushing, you will soon get pulled. And that's not saying in a negative way. It's not getting pulled back, but you'll be getting pulled in the right direction because you keep pushing. And then somewhere down the line, that one piece is going to pull you right where you need to be. Right where you need to be. For real. So don't give up. Always remember that success is a journey and not a destination. Let me say that again. Don't give up. And always remember that success is a journey, not a destination. Success is something, and let me break that down. Success is not a vacation spot. It's not where you want to land at and it's be at here and there. See, life is a journey. Life takes us all over the place. Life makes us go through all different types of stuff. That's a journey. See, journeys, you encounter many different experiences. You win some, you lose some, but you keep on pushing. A destination, that's the end stop. That's like, for instance, you want to go shopping. You pick Target. You get to Target. You have reached your destination, right? There is no continuation after you reach that destination because you got where you wanted to be. That's your destination. But a journey is a place where you can still be successful and you can still keep on pushing past that. So there's no stopping. It just keeps on climbing. So when given advice, the best thing you can do to act on it is do whatever you're told. And that can go back and forth. You can do whatever you're told, but only if it's in the positive way that'll benefit you. See, not everybody's advice is good. Not everybody's advice is in your best interest. But if that person's advice goes hand in hand with what you were thinking and what you think that will benefit you and your goals, whether it's financial goals, business goals, whatever that may be, I mean, hey, well, just take that advice, comprehend it, marinate on it a little bit. And if it makes sense, hey, go for it. Because I'm sure there's no way it can harm you, but it only benefit you when it comes in that case, that instance. You have to learn the rules of the game. See, anybody that wants to be successful in life, they got to understand that success is not something that comes overnight. And success is not just making millions of dollars per year. That's not what success is. Success is defined differently within each individual on this planet. So you can graduate college, you can call yourself successful. You can graduate high school, you can call yourself successful. You can get the job of your dreams, still work under somebody that you have to call a boss, and still be successful. But if you want that true successful, see, being rich, which I'm gonna do in a different podcast, this is the difference between rich and wealth. Being wealthy is more valuable than being rich, but I'm gonna get into that to a different topic. And the best piece of motivational advice that I have ever received is to create a philosophy of my life. And that's something that I mentioned earlier. You got to dig deep into yourself. You got to find out every single thing about yourself because not a lot of people know about their own selves because they don't really tend to study it. They just think, oh, well, I don't really like that. I don't really like this. But have you ever dug into yourself? Have you ever, and not literally, but have you ever just looked into yourself, researched yourself, and be like, all right, let me dive deep into this and see what my ins and outs are, you know? Because you got to learn how to take a risk. You got to learn how to be bold. You got to learn how to just do things that will be kind of sketchy at times, be nerve-wracking, but at the end of the day, most rewarding. And that's a lot of things that I've learned over, you know, my lifespan. And I mean, going back into it, you just gotta learn how to get out of your comfort zone and put yourself out there. You gotta take risk and aim to do things different. And like I said before, you gotta learn how to develop a thick skin. You cannot go out into this world being sensitive. You gotta develop a thick skin because a lot of things are gonna come at you. And I'm talking about mentally and physically. You cannot please all the people of the time all the time. And like I mentioned before, certain people will always find any excuse to put you down. But if you have that tough skin, it's not gonna get under your skin. It's not gonna bother you as much. It's gonna wash off like a ceramic coating on a car. It's gonna wash right off. And it's not going you're gonna hear it. It's gonna go in one ear, out the other. So where do you see yourself in 1 to 10 years? If you know your ambitions, write them down so you have a clear view of goals you would like to achieve. And to go even further into that, if you have goals, and let's say you're not good at looking at something that's on a bigger scale, break in break each individual goal down and make a foundation like, okay, this is my main goal that I want to reach in life. How would I go about reaching that goal from start to finish? Let's say you want to buy a car and your credit isn't good, but you have let's say a 600 credit score. You have a 600 credit score, but your financial goal you want to reach like 5,000, right? So you write 5,000 on the board, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, all I got to do is just save 5,000. So each check you're spending money, and then you're putting like maybe like $5 here, $5 there away every week, depending on how you get paid, or every 2 weeks. And then a month goes by, and you're like, I'm only at $100. So here's what you do with this situation: you get all your finances together, you create a budget plan. You be like, okay, I make this much in my checks. This much has to go towards bills. This is how much I have left. If you truly want that car, how much money can I comfortably save out of that and put it away towards this car? And that right there is your foundation. And then you keep building on that. And then every time you get closer and closer to that goal of $5,000 to get that car, you make another plan and be like, okay, I can comfortably save X amount of money, even more. But that's how I mean. You can break your goals down. You can do this. You can do that. Now, another thing. Remember the simple and most important things in life. It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind of life, but it's imperative to remember that important aspects of life. It's all about the little things, like going out on a walk in a park for fresh air, spending time with a best friend, picking up a phone call to call a sibling. There's a lot of things that goes out. There's a lot of things that people overlook. And another thing that people overlook is just learning new skills. Learning doesn't end when you finish school. Learning is a lifelong journey. And it's funny because I spoke on journey earlier today, and I spoke on a destination and I also spoke on journey. I spoke on if you're going shopping, you want to go to Target, that's a destination. Your target, your destination is to reach that store that you need to go shopping at, which is Target. That's your destination. It stops there, right? But a journey doesn't have an end. A journey is a continuation. Just like learning doesn't have an end. Just because you graduated from pre-K, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, it doesn't end when you finish school. Because every single day you're going to learn something new. Every single day. So many social media platforms is out here telling us, hey, I wish I would have learned this when I was younger. All these different life hacks. It's always something that we can learn. Nobody knows. No, the oceans are not even fully explored. Space will probably never be explored. And that's what I mean when it comes to a lifelong journey. Learning doesn't end. So take up a new hobby, whether it's crafting, designing, coding, painting, learning to play an instrument, or taking up a new sport. And honestly, I want to mention two of these things. Coding, number one, because I graduated in information technology. Let me tell you something about coding. Coding is it can be one of the hardest, but one of the easiest professions to get into. Also, on top of coding, there's so much money and potential that can be made. You can make your own websites, you can make your own apps. There's a lot of things you can do with coding. And now, when we get back to the musical instrument, music, once you learn how to play any type of musical instrument and you can go and try to learn something new, you can make it, you can be a musical engineer, which makes a lot of money. You can start producing songs for people. I mean, I went to school with some people who's making songs for these celebrities out here. There's a lot of different things. So adding more strings to your bow is quite impressive and it shows how well-rounded of a person you are. But it all falls down, it all comes down to this. Be happy. It sounds like the most simplest advice anyone could ever give, but it's so true. Life is far too short to live in misery. Now I get it. I do get it. There's a lot of things in life that makes us depressed, that makes us just want to end everything. But hear me out. If you live in an environment where you have more positives than you do negatives, try to just write down all the positives that's happening in your life and don't dwell on the negatives, you know? Because you can be anything you want to be, but that's only if you just block out those negative thoughts. Kind of like I said earlier, the haters. There's always gonna be haters in your life. There's always gonna be people that wants to see you fail. There's always gonna be people that wants to send you to jail. There's always people that see that you don't do drugs, but they want to be like, "Hey, hit this crack rock with me." There's a lot of things. You know what I mean? A lot of things. But I mean, it hits you left and right, you know. And because there's a lot of times that me myself fell down to that trap, but I just learned how to say no. The biggest thing is saying how to be no, or say no. And that goes back to what I said earlier with being tough skinned. Don't be peer pressuring and stuff. If you don't want to do it, say no. And if they get angry at you, they get upset, which is different from being angry, but they get angry or upset with you, hey, it's time to cut them loose because they're not in your best interest. Seriously. Not in your best interest. And the mic that I'm using today is called the Mono. It's a really good mic. But going back to my, I call these the 5 stages. Stage 1 is existence. And the existence stage, also called the startup phase, the company's business structure is simple. And this is going into business now. Before is the motivation. Now this is transferring into business, starting up your own business. So let's get into it. For the most part, the owner manages the operations or performs all the important operating activities. And you have all these different investors. The owner is also funding the whole venture, but you also got people who wants to be solo entrepreneurs. Now let's get into that. Being an entrepreneur is one of the most slept on, biggest money making businesses out there today. Because for one, a lot of that stuff can be non-taxed, especially if you're doing stuff that doesn't include anything that can be traced by, the IRS and stuff like that. There's a lot of things you could do under the table that's legal, but being a solo entrepreneur is one of them. Plus, you're your own boss. The only thing you got to have is that organization, that motivation, that determination, and that willingness to keep going. Even when your prices seem to go down a little bit, keep going, keep pushing. Because you know what? Before your biggest success starts happening, you'll have a setback. That setback will keep you down. See, that's what the devil wants. He wants you to fail. And the second you get that fail, he wants you to stay down. He wants you to quit. But if you keep on pushing, keep on banging it through, you're going to walk through that iron curtain. You're going to walk on that smooth path. That's a thing. And that's when it comes into my next stage. Stage 2 is called survival. At this point, your business is thriving. It's a viable brand. It's found a market. You've been marketing yourself well. You got your services coming in. You got your customers coming in, and it's all with a simple structure. I mean, heck, it all started as you as a solo entrepreneur, but now you have another person with you, another person you can call an employee, your business partner, whoever. And this is the time that you need to just keep on with the communication amongst yourselves, communication about what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that, you know, and then watch your company come on to thrive and keep going to success. Now, that's kind of what I mentioned earlier in this podcast too: success. How someone's success can be taken in different ways, many different ways. And this is the most mature phase of the business. The company is thriving. It has established a strong presence in the industry to ensure consistent profits. I mean, plus, as a business that's mature, it has the brand recognition and size to be financially healthy. Now, let's talk about that. Being financially healthy doesn't always have to be in a business, but it's something that people tend not to look into because they get a big check and they want to go blow it out, right? People's priorities is all messed up. They still live with their moms. They still living, that like dependent on somebody else. But they get a little money. They get like maybe they get a little money, but it's actually not money to a mature adult. But they get like $1,000, $2,000. I ain't no money. That's no money, right? But they get $1,000, $2,000. They go blow it on some jewelry. They go blow it on some Balenciagas or something like that. But they still taking the bus. Like, that's the thing I don't get. How you gonna have all this money, right? That's quotations around is that quotations around that all this money. How you gonna have all that money, right? still living with your parents, but you go buy some Balenciagas. It's just to impress the ladies at the mall or something. Your priorities is messed up. If you people look into that and be like, hey, you know what? Let me get my life right. Let me stack up my money. Let me make sure I got X amount of money in my savings account, X amount of money in my checking account, X amount of money in a credit union. You know what I mean? And that you can keep on stacking, 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 watch your money grow. And you can turn into that financially healthy. Then that's your point in stage 4 where you get to take off. And this is the next stage where companies can experience a rapid growth. A person can experience a rapid growth because they can leverage the streamlined sales, the marketing, operating stages. And this is what it comes to growth within a person, growth within yourself. And if you've been paying attention, you can see how I'm mixing in an individual's success and individual's growth mixed in with the business growth. You see how both can relate to each other. If you want to be something in life, you want to have your own, you want to be your own boss, just like having a business. You got to just market yourself. Keep pushing because sooner or later, all it takes is that one market, that one post on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, that one post to take you off. I mean, hey, look at this chick called Brit Baby or Barbie, right? Like people like her is becoming famous. If she can become famous, you can become famous. All for the right reasons. For real. And that should be if she's not a motivation, I don't know what is. Because a lot of the generations looking up to her, and I don't know why, because she hasn't done nothing. But I would do it, but I'm not want to get copyrighted. But I mean, there's nothing that she can do that you can't do. So think of it like this. If you guys are listening, there's a thing called SMART goals, right? And I'm gonna break that down to you. S is specific, right? Break your goals down in detail. Don't leave anything vague. Don't leave anything like you can come back to and be like, okay, what was I talking about with this? And it kind of ties into what I was saying earlier in this podcast. If you have a goal in mind, like $5,000, break that goal down. Be specific. I'm gonna save X amount of money per check. And then once I get closer to my goal, I'm gonna save even more money so I can get to it faster. Be specific. How are you gonna reach that goal? Make sure it's measurable. Time out your goal. See how far it's going to take you to reach that goal. Stretch it out. Not everything can happen overnight. So you want to make sure that that goal is obtainable within your lifetime. And that goes to A. A is obtainable. Make sure you can reach that goal. Make sure it's not impossible. Make sure that goal is right for you. And also make sure that goal is relevant to the same thing you want to be accomplishing in life. Maybe what you studied in school, maybe what you're naturally talented in. And that goes into R and SMART, relevant. Make sure it's relevant to what you know and what you've been studying. Because let's say, for instance, let's say you study to be a pharmacist, right? And you want to start your own pharmacy, you want to start your own business within that, right? But you branch off from pharmacy and now you're trying to be you want to go to be an auto mechanic, but auto mechanic and pharmacy don't mix hand in hand, right? But your main goal in life is still to be in pharmacy, but you're trying to implement that with auto mechanic because that's your thing right now. It's not gonna work. Excuse me. It's not gonna work. And make sure it's timely. Make sure it's efficient. All right. Now you can have big growth goals, but it's also important to set small, smart goals too. And you need to keep track on that. Get one of those dry erase boards. Write down everything you want to accomplish. Distinguish which ones is big, which ones are small, and then distinguish which ones you can get to quick and which ones will take you a long time to get to. Set mile markers, Then you want to develop strategies, and that's kind of what I said earlier. Be strategic about this. Support those growth goals, and also learn not to speak to everybody about your goals, because, like I said earlier, not everybody is in your best interest. Not everybody is wanting to see you win. Not everybody is going to want to praise you because they want to be in your spot, but they're not taking the same steps that you're taking. They're not. So if you were waiting to get tons of valuable information from other people, I mean, hey, some people out there will give you the best advice, but some people will give you advice. I say that with quotations, advice that'll end up dragging you back down. And that's something that you got to look into. You want to implement your growth strategies. And what I mean by that is once you have your goals nailed down and you got a plan to reach them, it's time to launch. Put your strategies into action. Let your new marketing software do its work. And rather that software is you paying Google to place ads on Facebook, Twitter, on random sites to get people to come look at what you're doing, or if you're out there hustling, handing out business cards, doing this and doing that. But at the same time, give your strategies a little bit of time because not everything's going to happen overnight. Make sure you give it to organic traffic. If you don't get results overnight, that's okay. Give it a month before you start making judgment calls on effectiveness. If you have to wait and you're doing this and you don't see at least 2 people interested within a month time frame, see what you're doing wrong. See what you're doing wrong. And that's when it goes into step 5, which is analyze your results. When your new strategies and growth company campaigns have been running for a while, analyze them. Maybe that's the 1 month mark for tactics. And like I just said, like Google, paid advertising. Excuse me. Initiatives in your marketing and sales process. I gotta drink something. People, hold on. Woo! My throat was getting dry, baby. Optimize your growth strategy. I wonder why this Vicks vaporizer isn't working right now because your boy getting that stuff in nose. I need this joint to clear out. But honestly, each month, set new smart goals. Set new goals. The key to an effective growth strategy is a mindset of a continuous improvement. I can't stress that enough. You know what? I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. The key to an effective growth strategy is a mindset of continuous improvement. You want to keep bettering yourself. There's so many ways to make so much money, bring so much happiness out there. Once you reach your growth goals, make some new goals and keep repeating that process. Keep elevating. Because there's always going to be people that's going to be out there that wants to see you deflate. What I mean by deflate is they want to see you come down. They don't want to see you go up. They want to see you come down because they want you to be right where they're at or beneath. They can care less about your goals. So keep making new goals and repeat the process and keep growing. The best growth strategies are the ones that are constantly changing and adapting to your needs and goals. And that's why one of the best things to do is continuously improve. See the results. Hey, that's true, Tyler. It's all about networking, man. That's facts. That is cold hard facts. It's always important to set new goals. Always. I know next time on my next stream, I'm gonna have some new backgrounds. I'm gonna have another interactive background as well. I'm good, man. I'm looking at my COVID test. It's still positive, but I mean, I'm feeling like brand new money. Like it's basically like 90% out my system, but it's still in there. So, but I mean, hey, it is what it is, you know. It's one day at a time. I'm done quarantining on Monday. Um, so I just been taking these tests once a day just to see where I'm at in life. But nah, I mean, I'm almost done. I've been taking this Tylenol, cold and flu and stuff. That's been keeping my coughs down. Um, I might take it again tonight because I'm not trying to stay up until 4 in the morning again, baby. I was up until 4 in the morning since Wednesday. Yeah, that's how long I had this shit or this stuff. Excuse me. I had this I had COVID since Wednesday. So just trying to take it one step at a time. Well, Wednesday night, I'll say. Yeah, Wednesday night. Um, so it's one step at a time and go from there. But been sanitizing, cleaning everything up in my room, making sure that I don't contract it when uh yeah. I remember you had that too. How long did yours last? Because I'm going on I mean Wednesday was day zero, so Thursday will be day one. Today's Saturday, so it's been going on for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days. Tomorrow's day four. And yeah, so mine's is about the same. Monday will be 5 days, and then I'll be straight. Hopefully, 5 days. Well, Monday I'm done quarantining. Then I gotta wear a mask. If I'm out in public, I'm gonna wear a mask regardless because I'm not trying to contract this again. I'm not. Like I said, I don't. I don't care if I catch it. I just want nobody that I care about to catch it. Um, you got a booster on Wednesday. Yeah, I got my first booster on uh the 15th. That's probably why I'm feeling like okay, I'll say, because I got my booster so soon. Like I got it the 15th and then bam, like 2 days after I contracted. So just going on that. Yeah, it's definitely put in work. That's for sure. I gotta pay my Xbox. It kicked me right off my game I was playing. It said you never paid your it basically said you never paid your membership to play this game. It kicked me right off that Game Pass game. I was like, man. So I'm about to pay that joint next week. Yeah, it's gonna be like, hey, you gotta pay this to play, man. I mean, to be fair, it was supposed to kick me off October 15th, but it just kicked me off today. Once they realized that I wasn't going to pay it, which and I honestly I forgot to pay it. it's like, yeah, you're done. I gotta see why my vaporizer isn't kicking in. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this stream. I've been on here for about 45 minutes. And I'd like to thank you all for coming in, enjoying this stream. Next time I gotta get some other people on here. And it's gonna be lit. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and let me add something to this little chat real quick. Bang. Haha. Appreciate you coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys and girls on the next one. See ya. Ha, big fish.